Hello, I'm Lasso, Oklahoma's India Tour, creator and organizer of the Stay Gold Film Festival here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Discuss It with Lasso is an interesting way to meet the film directors, actors, producers, writers behind their short film that will or have screened at the festival. Now, we're a bit different and the only festival in Oklahoma that screens on the last Sunday of every month. And if you're near Oklahoma, near Broken Arrow, I encourage you to come by and stop in and visit the theater, go shows, and check out some of the films. You'll be surprised at some of these films. They are top quality from around the world, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Everything that the Stay Gold Film Festival does is in service of go shows. All ticket sales, any submission fees goes towards the theater and helping them out, keeping their doors open and creating a arts culture with the local filmmakers and local communities as well as state and surrounding states. Take a look at the descriptions below and you will see a link to the official site of the Stay Gold Film Festival. There you'll find the schedule, trailers, tickets, and more things. This year, we're screening 360 short films and features from around the world, over 40 countries. And if you enjoy these interviews, you can find more of them under my podcast section called Discuss It with Lasso. I release these interviews once a week on Mondays in the morning, so they're available to you. Also, I want to encourage you to subscribe and like these interviews. They help grow the channel and reach a wider audience. Without further ado, here is our special guest. This is great. I never had these many people at once. This is pretty fun. Pretty fun. Thank you all for being here, taking the time to do this interview. So, are you guys located in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so, I guess I'll just kind of direct questions around the table as we go. The metaphor, the not the real table, but But we'll start with you, Nancy.
Mhm.
Um, what background do you have? I understand. Did you go to Southern California University?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where you studied cinematic arts.
Yeah.
Cool, very
Yeah.
cool. What sparked you? What sparked you to go there initially?
I just always wanted to go.
Yeah.
I didn't initially want to go for film.
Oh,
I went for writing,
okay.
for English, and then when I got there, I was like, film. That's what I really want to do. I
Yeah,
didn't even know like how I would do that because in my school we didn't have like film classes until like the very end, my senior year. We had like a kind of a cross writing film type of thing.
sure.
And so that's what kind of got me into it. And
Nice. What sort of hurdles have you faced when it comes to putting together short films?
usually it's just financial. Like
Yeah.
that's the biggest one. Because even in doing this one, I have a cinematographer friend who, she does like a lot of different stuff, but she's worked on some bigger movies and
Mhm.
I was going to hire her to do it. I was like, will you do it? And I could pay her, but then she needed like extra people and extra things. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that for,
Yeah, I
you
understand.
know. So it was really cool. I mean, she's great. She was very supportive, but it was definitely a business kind of thing.
Sure.
So I just end up sometimes, a lot of times doing it myself. So yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, we have to. We can't find, the necessary components, whether it's just somebody having faith in us and just supporting us truly because they want to, it's very difficult. You have to have a little luck on your side, but it takes time, and so I gotta ask you, is this like one of your first films or like where in the series of short films is this placed, would you say?
I mean, aside from school, in school I did a bunch of short films.
Oh, okay.
Outside of school, I'd say. yeah, no, this is definitely not my first short. I
Okay,
think it's one of the best,
cool.
um, because I had a bit more experience and my equipment was a bit better, the
Sure.
location was better. Um, so yeah, this one it's been doing pretty well. I'd say, what is this? Um, like outside of school, this is like four, five,
Nice.
something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Very good. And that's good that you strive to up the production a little bit on, on the equipment side. Is that something you're going to continue to do as you go move forward?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
And I would say I count this like in whole because I've done a bunch of short projects that were like more practice and not for, you know,
Sure.
being out there. So yeah, yeah, but yeah, that's definitely something I've been doing. I recently, um, I got like a new camera
Nice.
for some things, and so yeah, definitely.
Very nice. I actually started pretty much like you, very bare bones. Had to do it all myself out of necessity. But I was always interested, in all the things like editing and writing and things like that. I was interested anyways. But at the end of the day, if I could find a collaborator, that'd be great. But most cases, it wasn't like that. I spent many, many, many years alone, having to save up for equipment, buy equipment, and then lo and behold, the years move forward and that equipment is like outdated. It's crazy. But we live in a time now where all that the technology is becoming a little bit more accessible to filmmakers like us, and it's a great thing. Gives us more opportunity where we can't find any, right?
Mm.
Um, so, one more last question, and I'll switch over and go around because I don't want you, Robert and Lauren, just to sit there. Nancy, is horror? Would you say your niche?
Yeah, I like horror,
Nice.
science fiction the most. I do like to do drama and comedy, but if I do comedy, I always prefer like comedy, horror, comedy, science fiction.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah,
Kind of blended. Very
those are my
cool.
thing.
Very cool. Very cool. And I gotta say, I love the concept behind The Dark Light. The title alone was interesting. Like, and then the concept itself, and it's so interesting because it's simple, but yet it touches on some pretty large things, on the scope of like demons and angels and the world ending, and then how you reflect that back to society and the things that are happening. Does it equate to something more sinister, perhaps? I thought that was very interesting. So kudos to you. And
Thank
L-
you.
Lauren, let's switch over to you now. Lauren, are you primarily focused in the acting?
I would say I'm kind of split right now. So my
Sure.
day job is I'm a speech language pathologist in the
Wow.
public school system, which I know it's kind of
No, that's
very
very
different
cool.
field.
No, that's very cool.
But
Yeah.
I've done acting like since I was 19. I grew up, in Orange County, not too far from LA. And I feel like when you grew up in this area, it's kind of something you just get sucked into because you know so many people that are
How
like
funny.
out there and
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
projects. And it's really exciting. So I kind of fell into it by accident when I was younger. And then I ended up really loving it. And I feel like post COVID, I was really looking for something to make me feel whole again and to be creative because I feel like
Sure.
there was so much, going on where you couldn't go to the theater, you couldn't like have that
Yeah.
outlet. So right now, yeah, I'm really trying hard to make it my main goal, and I just
Very
got a new
cool.
talent manager, so
Oh,
I'm really excited.
congratulations. Yeah, there you go. That's a stepping stone right there.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. But it's been really fun. And
Yeah.
when I got the audition from Nancy for the role of like the villain, if you if you
Yeah.
will, it was it was like you said, horror and science fiction. It was exciting to get that piece where really you had so much freedom to just kind of play with it and make it
Sure.
fun and make it your own. And I give Nancy tons of kudos and credit for writing something that's just so creative and so
Yeah.
unique and powerful where obviously it resonates with people, and it's
Right.
it's been doing so well in the film festival circuit, so that's so exciting to see.
No, absolutely. You never know how things are going to go with the festival circuit, and so that's good to hear. And uh, yeah, I wanted to say it's a great piece to watch as well because you it's the acting too. I enjoyed it as well. And so that's a really great piece for you that Nancy was able to provide this for you to be able to showcase, and keep building off of it, and go from there, which sounds like you did great. You just got a talent agent, is that right? Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, so that hopefully will open up more doors for you and you'll just keep going. And in turn, as you keep going forward, you can return help Nancy, right?
Yeah,
And,
of
and
course.
so
I know. I'm ready for her to write the next piece. I'm like, what's the follow-up to this? Like,
nice. So Robert, let's switch out. Let's switch to you, Robert. I guess it's along the same question, sir. Are you a lot more focused in the acting?
Yeah. I'm an actor here in Los Angeles. I studied at the State University of New York at Purchase. It's a conservatory program.
Oh wow.
So I did a lot of theater. I spent 20 years in New York doing theater off Broadway and then moved to Los Angeles about 15 years ago. And I watched a lot of the guys that I went to school with come out here and do really well. So I wanted to sort of tackle film and TV and commercials. So
Sure.
um, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, awesome. Great for you, sir. And where would you say you're at with that? I mean, have you been able to get a talent agent as well and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a commercial agent. I've got a theatrical agent.
Nice.
Um, I'm auditioning, doing the thing. I
Yeah.
booked a commercial a couple of days ago, so I'm shooting that this weekend.
That's
Um,
fantastic. That's great.
and just doing the work.
Yeah.
I go to class still. I got a coach, so just keep
Yeah.
fresh and make sure
Maintaining
that
it.
there's no rest. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you got to do it for sure. No, that's great of
yeah.
you, man. And so would you all consider yourselves like a pretty tight-knit group?
We actually didn't know each other at all.
Oh,
Nancy
okay.
brought us all together. It was a great. It was great. We all sort of meshed the first day, and I think there was a cohesive sort of bond there, and
Sure.
it sort of reflected in the film.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was fortunate. It was
yeah.
fortunate we were able to do that.
I would assume that you guys all knew each other from beforehand. There seemed to be a just a easy chemistry back and forth, and I came into this thinking that you guys were a tight-knit group, friends like forever, and you guys did this, for fun or something, and it turns
Yeah.
out, yeah, it looks like you just met on set, huh, and went from
Well,
there.
it's so nice to be able to show up to set and there's actors and a director with no sort of ego about it or no pretentiousness about it. There was, I think we all
Sure.
just sort of let the work
Yeah.
kind of guide us through. So yeah, it was really nice.
And did you guys have a lot
Yeah.
of fun?
Oh, dude, it was a blast.
That's good. That's,
It was
at the
a
end of the day,
blast.
that's probably the most important part, right? You have fun, walk away
Yeah,
with friends.
for sure. And
Um, yeah.
it's I gotta hand it to Nancy, man. She to be as tenacious as she is, to keep going and putting this thing in, and it is hard.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work to put this thing into festivals over and over and over again, and to try to get work seen. It is.
Oh, I
I gotta
100%
I
agree. Yeah,
really gotta
that's
give her.
that's one of the reasons why I created Stay Gold. I'm a filmmaker as well, and actor and all this, and I've been doing it since early 2000s, and sometimes it feels like you're just gambling your money away, and sometimes it feels like they just don't like you. Like there's just so many things. I've had festivals where I did really great, and the next year they were just like, this year we're not gonna put your film in, and no reason at all. They didn't give me a reason, and it was like a really good film. It was like one of my best works at the time. So I was just like, oh, okay. So. But there's one in Oklahoma. I don't know if Nancy you've heard of it. It's called Bare Bones in Muskogee, and they're great because they champion the filmmakers that basically have to do it all, right? You're put in this position the resources aren't there, you're facing hurdles, people don't believe in you. There's just that you do it all, right? And so that's kind of where I got the spirit from. And I ended up making my own festival in here where I live, and it's the same spirit, right? I don't want to just judge something, right? And like harshly, I take a serious look at anything, right? Anything that shows up, and I take a serious look. I go, well, let's look past the production. Let's look at what they're doing. Let's look at what they're accomplishing. Let's look at what they had to work with and consider all of that as well. And so I just love the idea of at the very least helping all kinds of filmmakers, and so I was happy to do it for you guys, and I was entertained by it. Like honestly, I was. So, that's good on you, Nancy, and the actors as
Thank
well.
you.
Um,
Yeah.
because it was a unique concept. There's nothing like it as far as concept. I think the closest thing was a short film where it ends with a nuke going off in the town. But that was about it. So, Nancy, I gotta ask you. I was reading through a little bit of your bio, and it said that you had done some interviews. Is that right?
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
sat down and interviewed with some pretty prominent people, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of pretty much what I do like on the other side.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I do a lot of that. I do a lot of press and stuff like that. And I've been doing that
Oh,
for a really long, long time. So
interesting.
yeah,
How
yeah.
did you get into that exactly?
Um, I first got into it back when like I was doing publishing as well, and so I kind of got into it as a way to get to know people and different authors and stuff like that. And
Sure.
then some of the authors were also in film, and I started doing that, and then I just kind of went back more to my film roots.
Yeah.
And as I kind of grew progressively in that, then I started getting sent things and
Wow. Yeah.
so yeah, and joining organizations and different things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's pretty
That's
much
pretty
it.
impressive on its own, to be honest. That
Thank
when I
you.
read that, I was like totally surprised. Like you just don't expect something like that. So, and do you continue to do things like that? Are you still
Oh
interviewing? And
yeah.
yeah, that's pretty
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah. And
you?
one
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh no, one thing I wanted to say, because like we didn't know each other,
Yeah,
and I was so happy just how game they were for everything,
sure.
like them and the makeup artist and Savannah and everything. So I have to say that I have done shorts before where like maybe not everybody was so, you know what I mean? Like, so game, or they were
Right,
tired or something.
right.
So, yeah, having people that you can work with like really well, that you get in the room, you don't know each other outside of their audition process and
Yeah.
go for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
enjoy it.
absolutely right. An actor that brings a sour kind of uh, what do you call it, aura, can
Mhm.
really bring things down and make things definitely harder. So it's definitely great of your talent to come in and not be that way. It helps so much. Like I don't think, I mean, I'm sure the actors realize, but like for those that don't, I don't think they realize how much their attitude can just affect the whole entire production. It's so important to not affect anything negatively.
Mhm.
So that's great on you both for sure, Lauren and Robert. That's great. And that speaks a lot about you too. Like if you carry that, keep going forward, and you carry that over to every production that you're on, you're gonna do well. You're not gonna have issues. Um, the people will say, "Hey, these guys are great." They don't cause any negativity on set. Word gets around fast. It does,
Yeah,
and
it does.
so
Yeah, it does. I've
yeah.
had I've had friends that were had a path to become huge, and a couple of slip ups with attitude and ego just
And that's
destroyed
it.
them.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they never, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunate, but
It's also super rare and tough to get opportunities like that again, you know.
it's so easy to be nice.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything really. And that's, That's important. You got to have that attitude, and doesn't matter what level of production, whatever it is, you bring it with you all the time, and it's very helpful. And like you said, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. So, Nancy, having your actress here and your actor, have you worked with them again, or is there any consideration of working with them again or anything?
I would love to work with them
Yeah,
again, but no, we haven't worked again yet.
yeah,
So I put yet on the end of that. I
sure.
definitely would want to work with them again. So
How long ago was the when you finished in the Dark Light? When was that finished?
um, I finished it March of last year,
Okay,
the end of March. Yeah.
okay. So not too terribly a lot of time went by. I mean,
Mm.
sometimes like years and years and years go by, but I suggest because you found some terrific actors that you try to stick with them and they got great attitudes and
Hmm.
it's I don't have to explain it to you. It's such a collaborative thing, and when you find a team of people that bring it, and are there to support you, keep working with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely keep working with them, and together you build your careers. Together you can do it.
Mhm. I
Um,
was trying to remember. It was March of last year, right? That I finished the editing and everything. Yeah, because we shot it. What is it? June
Yeah.
of
Yeah, for
24.
the
Okay.
summer during a heat wave too. And then I
Yeah.
drove home with all the horror makeup on right before the fourth. I think it was right before the 4th of July because some people were shooting off fireworks early, and I was like, if I get pulled over right now, they're gonna have a ton of questions for me.
yeah. Funny story. I actually did get pulled over once dressed as a Beetlejuice, and the cop, when he looked at me, was like, "No, not tonight. Just go, get out." I forgot why he pulled me over. I think it was like a broken tail light or something, and
Mm,
and he was just like, "No, get out." I was like, "All right, yes, sir, no worries."
nice.
So that, yeah, the one of the things about acting, right? You never know, and the makeup and all that. Um, so who was your makeup artist for the short?
Her name is Danny. I found her through one of the schools.
Okay,
So, because I was looking for a makeup artist and I kind of did some research and I read something that said like, try reaching out to the schools.
sure.
And so I did that. I posted a job notice and a few people responded and I liked her stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. Yeah, you gotta exactly. That was some really good advice, and you took it, and you'd be surprised. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways of getting the resources you need. You just kind of have to be a little smart about it, and just kind of put a lot of thought behind it. And yeah, schools are a good way. I actually did the same thing for a short. I met a friend of mine who was working at a beauty salon, and it's like a beauty salon where they teach as well. And so I ended up going to her for makeup. And what ended up happening was during our filming, she was like the main person behind the makeup, but then she would have students come in every other day and have that experience. So that was like a unique thing that happened. Otherwise, her students wouldn't have never been able to do it. So there's so many different ways, and she actually, because the salon, the school, whatever, they buy all their makeup and all that. I actually didn't have to spend money on it, and I told her, I was like, I don't mind spending money. She's like, no, no, the school provides it, it's fine, and the kids can come in and have their experience in this. I was like, oh, perfect situation, it just so many different ways. You just got to be creative, and so another thing I read, Nancy, on your bio was it was something about a television pilot that was
Hmm.
like it was like selected and shown like in a gala situation. Was
Yeah.
that through the school as well, the Southern California?
Yeah, that was through them. So they had like an alumni project like submission thing,
Sure.
and so then they selected projects to be part of this new site that they built, and it was sponsored by NBC Universal.
Very cool.
And so then, yeah, it was really nice, and we
Yeah.
had we had like a gala there and everything, and it was a networking event, and then they put our stuff on display. So yeah, it's that was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
bet. Yeah. No, it's great that the school was able to do that and partner up with that company. That's like, where I'm at, you're not gonna get that, So you're in a good state. You're in a good state for all that entertainment and film and TV industry. So what happened with the pilot? Did anything happen? Are you pushing it? Are
Um,
you yeah,
No, not yet. I mean, I have been pushing it, but not as much because
sure.
I'm focusing on like the other stuff that I'm doing, and I think television sometimes is a little more like with pilots and stuff like that. It's a bit more difficult to get into because you have to kind of they want you to start off like first you do this and then you do this and then so it's not like where a film you might be able to option a film or make the film yourself and sell it or
Sure.
something like that. So. Yeah, but it's out there, and hopefully it'll get some more traction,
Sure.
maybe at a later date. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Always stay positive and open to it for sure. I also read that did you end up selling one of your short films?
Yeah. One of my very first, well, it wasn't my first, but it was the first one that I sold, and that was like several years ago.
Yeah.
And it was kind of out of the blue. I was actually living on the East Coast then, and I submitted it to a festival here in Los Angeles, and it got in, and I wasn't even sure if I could go. Like I didn't have the money for it,
Uh-huh.
and then kind of out of the blue, I got a new job, and that allowed me to have the money. And she was really great and gave me the vacation time. So I was able to come here. And then a few years passed after that. And they sent me an email like, we're starting a new like streaming service
Oh,
and we want to
nice.
buy your movie. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's
And
great.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was really nice. And I didn't expect that, but it was pretty cool. And the movie basically cost nothing to make, so it was all profit,
Oh,
you
there you
know.
go.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
yeah, and it
I guess
was
that's the
good to,
benefit of going bare bones. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's very
So,
lucky. I gotta say, that's very lucky and not surprising because I'm seeing that a lot. Festivals and even people who act as these like producers that basically there's one guy I talked to and his primary thing is that he got all these filmmakers' films and he's in charge of submitting it out to film festivals, but he's also in charge of looking for those types of small companies that exist that put together anthologies and then they package it and put it out in a streaming service. So
mhm,
that seems to be like the thing, especially if you're working on short films, is to look for those types of things, those small companies that do package anthologies and put them out there for streaming. That I mean
mhm,
that you and if you like, that happened to you, the more films you're able to get selected for something like that, it just looks really good on you, even if you're not making tons of money off of it from views, but at least you could say, hey, look, this so and so and so film, they're streaming here and streaming over here, and next thing that's I think that's a bonus either way,
yeah,
and so
yeah. And I think the good thing about that one is because it was like kind of in the earlier days of doing that,
mm,
the payment was upfront, so I never had to worry about like the sharing thing.
the
I just got
sharing,
a
yeah,
lump sum up front, and I was like,
nice.
yay!
Very nice,
Like,
yeah,
look at me
that's good on you, yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
sometimes those opportunities are just meant for us, like those
Mhm.
that's kind of my attitude is that you know like I feel like some opportunities are not meant for you, but some are. I don't, does that make sense? Like
Mhm.
not they're not all for you, but as fate has it, as you work and prepare yourself and you're at the ready, opportunities do show up, and if you take that leap of faith, you can claim it. It was meant for you.
Yeah.
So I don't want just Robert to sit there and Lauren just to sit there. um, so I don't know. I'm trying to think of some. Are you guys also in other short films that are also circulating, like doing festival circuits? Lauren, if you want to go first.
Sure, I'll share. I actually just got notified. I helped out a collective kind of production company
Sure.
called the Playback Collective. And I'm not in that project, but my husband and I helped. We did all the stunt coordinating for the
Oh,
film.
wow.
And
Okay.
it just got selected for the Holly Shorts Festival
I've heard of
in
that one. Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
So it's going to be playing here in August at the TCL Chinese Theater, which
Oh,
is really
wow.
exciting. And it's
Yeah.
another horror project. So Nancy, I feel like horror's having a renaissance moment right
Yeah.
now. Like we need to
Yeah.
capitalize for
Yeah.
sure.
Horror it'll never go away. There's
What's
always
it
going to
called
be an
again?
audience.
It's called Face Punch.
Okay.
Face
So
punch. I like
yeah, and the vibe is very much like 90s, kind of 90s techno flashback, and it's kind of that like in that vein of those 90s action movies, like
Sure. Oh, I
very,
love
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very over the top, but like
That's
in
my
the best
jam. That is my
way.
jam. I watched Judge Dredd the other day with Stallone. I can't, I watched it as a kid and watching it yesterday, I was like, man, I love movies that are like this. Like a lot of movies have changed, they changed for the modern audience. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's a great thing, but at the same time, it's like, man, I feel like we lost something. Like we had the 90s, man. That was it for me anyways. But
One of the best eras,
I
absolutely.
I think so too. Yeah, I really do. For
I think this is the
creativity.
year of we're going back to small films again. We're going back to the lower budget films that are,
Yeah, it's always fluctuating, right? And,
yeah,
and there's always like we're getting out of the whole superhero thing, which
yeah, totally,
dominated everything, and I'm kind of glad that's kind of dying out because
totally.
Oh,
I've
I
had
love
enough.
those
I
too.
love them. Don't get me wrong. I love them, but at this point, I'm just like I'm a little bit tired of that. It push like just by accident, you watch these superheroes, you love them, and then there's so many of them, and at some point you go, where's the independent stuff? Where's
Yeah,
the simple stuff that we used to enjoy back in the 90s, that were great, 2000s. Like I was just missing that, and obviously studios need to make their money and all that. So they aim for big movies or franchises and things like that. They try to stick to that, but it doesn't seem like they're doing very well with that right now. So I think you're correct, sir. I think we're at a point where it's the indie scene is gonna explode. I believe so. Yeah. The
yeah,
more creative storytelling, the things we
yeah.
haven't seen, things like that are definitely gonna dominate. I believe.
That movie that just came out, Obsession's killing it right now.
Exactly.
Uh,
He's a YouTuber, right? A
yeah,
YouTuber who got his following on YouTube and exploded on YouTube and social media. Then
yeah.
he did some independent movies, right? And did well on YouTube and then I guess I'm not sure how that deal went. I don't know if a studio took a chance on him or I'm not sure what happened, but obviously he's successful with it. So
I think he sold it at festival. Um, I can't
okay.
remember. I think Backrooms. Uh, don't quote me, but I think with Backrooms, he already had some popularity with it
Yeah.
online, and then he got a deal
Yeah, that's
to
another
make.
one. Backrooms, yeah, it originated online. It was like an internet thing, and it just spiraled out of control with popularity, and it just, there you go. It became a movie. And then there was the guy, also the other YouTuber who made Iron Lung. He crossed
Yeah.
over. So there's a lot of crossing over from people that have, you know, I think I don't know if they had that idea of like hey, I'm gonna start YouTube and then become a filmmaker. I don't know if that was the case, but it definitely created a path for them, so and
I think people are aching to see creativity.
oh,
Not
absolutely.
just formula. Uh,
Absolutely.
that formulaic BS. It's
Right.
real creativity that's coming back. That's interesting and fun to
Yeah.
watch.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're risky. They're risky.
Yeah,
They're different.
yeah.
They're new. They're fresh. And you're right. I think people are just tired of that. And so, Nancy, that kind of puts you in an interesting position as an independent filmmaker.
Yeah,
You have the
yeah,
chance
yeah,
to, whatever it is, if it's just creating more pitch decks or creating interesting concepts and creating it yourself. If you can't get like you know, a big streaming service or anything like that, to back you up or anything, you can always go your way, like
Mhm.
YouTube. I don't think it's too late to get on YouTube. I just got on it recently, and it does take a lot of work, but this year alone, I've gone up to 7,000 subscribers, and it sure in the scheme of things, it's very small, but that's still a lot,
A
that's a
lot of
big
people, man.
audience.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it is. It feels like it. It took a lot of work, and I released my independent movie in January, my feature, and it's reached 600,000 views right now.
oh, nice.
So
Yeah,
it's not impossible, and I don't think it's too late. I think you can just it, just like you did with your short, you found a way. There are ways out there. There's no set in stone way of doing things. And like the saying is in Hollywood, nobody really knows anything, right? They they just think they know, and they think they know that this will make money or this will be the one, and then it turns out they're all wrong, right? And so interesting place we're at. Um, we're running out of time. We have 40 minutes total. I just let's kind of go down the row here. Mr. Robert White, do you have any in last words, advice for actors out there?
Uh, well, for those younger actors coming up, they just have to be persistent, keep a good attitude on them, and just keep plugging at it. It's a hard
Yeah.
business, and
Oh, yeah.
if
Yeah.
you really want to do something you love to do, then it takes hard work and persistence. Otherwise,
Right.
but that's anything. You're gonna.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to add on that you got to have the collaborative spirit, which it seems like the three of you do, and I really sincerely hope the three of you work together again and keep working
Yeah,
together,
that would be fun.
Yeah. Lauren, how about you? How about you?
My advice for actors coming up, man, I'd say find a good coach that's going to give you honest feedback even when you don't
Yes.
want to hear
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
And like you said, finding the good group of people that you're excited to work on their project.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like fake it till you make it. I feel like that's so overplayed where it's like if you
Be authentic.
genuinely,
Yeah.
yeah, you find a project you really care about, it's just going to happen naturally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a great points there. And Nancy, so do you have any, did we talk about that? Any projects in the works currently that you might be getting ready to
Um,
shoot or anything?
yeah, yeah. I'm working on a few things, and
Great.
I'm just trying to keep my focus on going forward, submitting this. I think
Yeah,
it's
right.
everything's been going. So I'm trying, I'm trying. So yeah,
You're in
yeah.
the trenches. Yeah, you're in the trenches. You're hustling, and that's what it takes, and don't
Mhm.
ever lose the faith. Don't, even on your darkest days, just keep believing in yourself, never give up, and a lot of us
Absolutely.
started in the same position with just like bare minimum, only like $300 to use, right? And some of your closest friends and closest people that you can find, and that, we start there, but with a great attitude, sky's the limit, you never know. You never know. And
Yeah,
we've already seen that you never know. You sold assured. You had a pitch deck that got seen and was part of a like a beautiful gala. You just don't know. So, well, I guess I'll leave it at that. I hope you do submit again next year, Nancy. I hope you
I
do.
will. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll look forward to that. And good luck with the festival circuit. Good luck, Lauren, with your career. Robert as well. All of you. I wish you the best,
Thanks.
and keep going. Keep going. You know.
Thank
There's no reason to
you.
stop.
Nice meeting you. God bless.
Yeah. Thank you
Likewise.
guys.
Yes, sir. God bless. Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Bye.
You. Bye.
Y'all have a good one. And hopefully next year we'll do another one, Nancy. Hopefully Nancy
Yeah,
will do
definitely.
another interview and all that. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, this was fun. It was fun.
good.
It was
I'm
really
glad.
nice.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I have the interview ready. I'll send you a link and all that, and you can use it for promotional and all that.
All
So
right. Awesome.
cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And good luck to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.